My girlfriend kept a secret account for 3 years, where she mocked my teacher salary mindset and planned dates with other men. I didn't make a scene. I took action instead. Weeks later, she was facing a lawsuit and had her license suspended. I'm Jake Morrison, 31 years old, and this is how I discovered my girlfriend of 3 years had been broadcasting our relationship's destruction to hundreds of strangers while I slept next to her every night. Amber taught kindergarten at Riverside Elementary. We'd met at a district training on classroom technology. She was passionate about early childhood development, always talking about her kids with this infectious enthusiasm. I taught high school math at the same district, different building. We bonded over shared frustrations with standardized testing and budget cuts. She was everything I thought I wanted: ambitious, social, always planning adventures. Her Instagram was perfectly curated lifestyle content. Coffee shop aesthetics, weekend hiking photos, couple shots that made us look like we belonged in a tourism brochure. I'd gotten used to posing for her content, even if it felt weird sometimes. What I didn't know was that she maintained a second account. A Finsta, as she called it, though I only learned that term later. At Amber Real Talk 2024 had 312 followers and apparently existed to document her real thoughts about everything, including me. The discovery happened because she'd tagged my main account by mistake. Probably meant to tag someone else, but there it was. A notification leading me into a world where I was the boring boyfriend holding back her dreams. I scrolled through months of posts, complaints about my teacher salary mindset, screenshots of texts from guys she'd met at the gym, at bars, through dating apps she was apparently still using, photos from dates I didn't know she'd been on, timestamps that corresponded with her girls' nights and work conferences. But the worst part wasn't even the cheating, it was the audience. 312 people watching her mock our relationship, her coworkers, college friends, even her sister. People who smiled at me at school events, who made small talk at parties, who knew exactly what she thought of me. One post from 2 weeks earlier made me sick. He actually thinks I'm happy with this life. Movie nights and grocery store dates, I need someone who understands success. The comments were brutal. Her friends encouraging her to upgrade, laughing at my attempts at romance, treating our relationship like entertainment. I sat in my kitchen, laptop warming my thighs, feeling this strange calm settle over me. No tears, no rage, just clarity. I screenshot everything, every post, every comment, every timestamp. Then I created my own account. At Teacher Truth 2024, profile picture, a black square, bio, documentary evidence only. My first post was simple. Screenshot of her neat excitement story with my caption, "She's single now." I tagged her main account and added a few more screenshots. The ones where she bragged about using my streaming passwords while at another guy's place. The one where she laughed about me paying for her gym membership while she used it to meet dates. Within minutes, my phone exploded. Amber calling from the school parking lot during her lunch break, texts in all caps. "What the hell are you doing? Delete that now." I didn't respond. Instead, I posted another screenshot. This one showing her with someone named Marcus at a restaurant on our anniversary. My caption, "I was told she had food poisoning that night, must have been a miraculous recovery." Her friends started flooding my DMs, some apologizing, claiming they didn't know how to tell me, others demanding I stop being petty and handle this like an adult. Her sister wrote, "This is really immature, you're embarrassing the whole family." I replied, "She had 312 people watching her embarrass me for months. I have 23 followers." Do the math, here's where it gets interesting. Marcus, the anniversary dinner guy, had no idea I existed. Amber had told him she was recently single, just getting over a toxic relationship. When he saw the posts, when he realized he was part of a web of lies, he lost it. He commented on my post, "Wait, is this real? She said she was single." I DM'd him, not to fight, just to share evidence. Screenshots of her main Instagram, all our couple photos, the "Love My Boyfriend" posts from the same week she was texting him. Within an hour, Marcus posted his own story. When you find out you're the side piece with screenshots of their conversations. Amber's carefully compartmentalized world was collapsing. She showed up at my apartment that evening, mascara running, hands shaking, not from sadness, from fury. "You're destroying my life." She screamed through the door. "I'm documenting it," I called back. "There's a difference. Open this door, we need to talk like adults." Adults don't maintain secret social media accounts to mock their partners, Amber. She tried every manipulation tactic, crying, apologizing, then back to rage. You violated my privacy, that's illegal. You tagged me in a public post. Your account is public, try explaining the rest to a lawyer. Eventually, building security made her leave, but Amber wasn't done. She went full damage control, posting a long Instagram story about how I was controlling and emotionally abusive, how she'd been struggling with depression and made some poor choices, but I was publicly humiliating her instead of supporting her healing. The gaslighting was impressive, except I had receipts. So many receipts. I posted her text from last week. Can't wait for our date night. Love you so much. Sent while she was literally planning to meet Marcus based on the timestamps from her Finsta. Her coworkers started unfollowing her main account. Our district had strict social media policies, and someone had forwarded my posts to administration. Turns out bragging about using fake sick days to go on dates isn't great for your teaching career. Marcus, meanwhile, discovered he wasn't even the only side piece. He found out Amber had been juggling him with at least 2 other guys, Tyler from her CrossFit gym, and someone named David she'd met on a dating app. Marcus posted their Venmo transactions with captions like, "Emergency car repair equals bottle service with Tyler." Amber tried one last manipulation. She called my mom, crying about how she'd made mistakes but loved me and wanted to work things out. How I was being cruel and vindictive. My mom, bless her, simply said, "Honey, I follow his Instagram now, I saw the screenshots." The best part? I hadn't broken any laws, hadn't hacked anything, hadn't threatened anyone. Just reposted content she'd already shared with 312 of her closest friends. Within 2 weeks, Amber's Finsta was deleted. Her main Instagram went private, then disappeared entirely. Her LinkedIn mysteriously removed all mentions of our school district. Marcus posted about trusting his instincts more. Tyler's girlfriend found out and posted about surviving betrayal. I kept it Teacher Truth 2024 active for exactly 1 month, long enough for everyone who needed to see it to see it. Then I deleted everything, blocked Amber on all platforms, and started therapy. Because here's the thing about revenge, even justified revenge, it doesn't fix the betrayal. It doesn't erase 3 years of lies, it doesn't make you feel better, just emptier. But at least I wasn't the only one feeling empty anymore. 3 weeks later, she texted from a friend's phone, "I hope you're happy, you destroyed everything." I didn't respond, but if I had, I would have said, "No, Amber, you built a house of cards." I just opened a window. The updates started coming a month later. Someone from the district's legal department reached out. Let's call him Robert. Very professional, very careful. He wanted to know if I had any screenshots involving school property or confidential information. I was confused until I remembered some of her Finsta posts had been taken at school, including one where she bragged about using district computers for her side business, tutoring students from other districts for cash, using our curriculum materials and assessment tools. Just made $500 this weekend using school resources for private tutoring. They'll never know, one post read. They knew now. Robert asked if I'd provide screenshots for an internal investigation. I agreed, with everything documented, that I was just a witness sharing publicly posted content. Meanwhile, Marcus hadn't disappeared quietly. Turns out he'd been documenting his own evidence. He discovered Amber had been borrowing money from him for emergencies. Her car, her student loans, family crises that were actually shopping sprees and trips with other guys. He had Venmo receipts totaling nearly $8,000 over 4 months. His Instagram posts were savage. Invested in cryptocurrency, invested in a pathological liar. Guess which one paid off? Tyler's girlfriend Jessica reached out to me, not angry, just exhausted. She said Tyler had a history of this, but this was her breaking point. She wanted to compare notes. We met for coffee, weird experience bonding with someone else caught in Amber's web. Jessica was a nurse practitioner, just wanted the truth. She showed me texts between Tyler and Amber where Amber had coached him on what to tell Jessica, laughed about how gullible we both were. Jessica and I created something that felt petty but necessary, a shared document tracking all the lies. Every date, every excuse, every contradiction cross-referenced with social media posts and timestamps. The pattern was staggering. Amber had scheduled her deception like a project manager. Mondays and Wednesdays with me, Tuesdays with Marcus, Thursday gym sessions with Tyler, weekends rotating between all of us plus whoever else she was messaging on dating apps. Then Amber made a crucial mistake. She started a TikTok account, Healing from Emotional Abuse. Day one of her journey recovering from my toxic behavior. She painted herself as a victim of revenge porn, even though I'd never shared anything intimate, just her own words. But the internet doesn't forget. Someone found her old TikToks from 6 months ago where she was giving relationship advice. Green flags in healthy relationships, and how to know he's the one, all while actively cheating on me. The comments were brutal. Her day 3 of healing video got ratioed so hard she disabled comments entirely. Then she went on a podcast, some small relationship advice show where she knew the host. For 40 minutes, she spun this narrative about being trapped with an emotionally unavailable partner, how she'd made mistakes but was growing. The host was sympathetic until the live chat started flooding with links to my screenshots. Watching her face change from supportive to horrified was something else. Amber, these screenshots, are these real? That's taken out of context. It says here you were dating multiple people simultaneously. The situation was complicated, but you just said you were trapped in one relationship. The episode was deleted within hours, but someone had already made a compilation of every contradiction. Marcus had lawyered up by then. In her desperation to keep him around, Amber had signed actual loan agreements for some of the money, legally binding documents she probably thought were romantic gestures. By month's end, she was facing a formal district investigation for misuse of resources, a civil lawsuit from Marcus for $8,000, complete social exile from her friend group, and professional blacklisting in our tight-knit education community. That's when she played her final card. She showed up at my school. Security called me to the main office. There she was, looking rough, unwashed hair, no makeup, designer bags replaced with a canvas tote, the perfectly curated image completely shattered. "Can we please talk?" I agreed, but only in the office with the principal present. She broke down completely, not manipulative tears, actual ugly crying. She admitted everything. The accounts, the lies, how it started small and became addictive, how she got hooked on the validation, the excitement of juggling multiple lives. "I need help," she said. "I think I'm sick. I must be sick to do this." Maybe she was, maybe it was some compulsive disorder, but that didn't erase the damage. "Get help then," I told her. But not from me. She asked if I could call off Marcus's lawyers, if I could tell the district I'd been mistaken, if we could move past this. The audacity was breathtaking. "Amber, I didn't create this situation. I just stopped keeping your secrets. These are your consequences." She left after that. Last I heard, she'd moved back with her parents in another state. Her teaching license was suspended pending investigation. Her social media presence completely vanished. 6 months later, I ran into her former best friend Sarah at a grocery store. After some awkward small talk, she admitted something that haunted me. They all knew Amber was toxic. They'd watched her do this to 2 previous boyfriends. But Amber was charismatic, the center of their social circle, and nobody wanted to be on her bad side. "We just didn't want to get involved," Sarah said. 312 people watched someone systematically destroy multiple lives for entertainment, and nobody said anything. That's almost worse than the cheating itself. I'm in therapy now, working through trust issues and the specific trauma of having your private life turned into public entertainment. My therapist says what Amber did, the public humiliation aspect, is a form of psychological abuse that's becoming more common in the social media age. "She didn't just betray you," Dr. Kim explained. "She made your relationship into a performance for an audience that was laughing at you. That's a particular kind of violation. Dating feels impossible now. How do you explain why you need to see someone's phone on the second date? Why you Google everyone extensively? The few times I've tried, it's gone poorly. You need to work on your trust issues," one woman told me after I asked too many questions about her social media presence. She wasn't wrong. But she also didn't understand that my trust issues came from discovering that someone I loved had turned our relationship into entertainment for hundreds of strangers. I still teach at the same school. Love my job, love my students, but I'm more careful now about what I share, who I trust. I've learned to recognize the signs of performative relationships, people who document everything, who seem more interested in the appearance of happiness than actual happiness. The irony isn't lost on me. Amber wanted excitement, adventure, someone with real ambition. She's now living with her parents, unemployable in education, facing legal consequences for fraud. Meanwhile, I'm still here, still teaching, still building a life that's quiet but genuine. To anyone reading this, if someone maintains secret social media accounts to mock your relationship, that's not a red flag, it's a siren. If 312 people know your partner's real feelings about you but you don't, that's not privacy, it's betrayal. And to the 312 people who watched Amber destroy multiple relationships for entertainment, your silence made you complicit. When you see someone being cruel, say something. Your comfort isn't worth someone else's dignity. Sometimes the best revenge isn't elaborate schemes. It's just refusing to keep someone's secrets when those secrets are destroying you. Sometimes the truth needs to be louder than the lies. Don't be Amber. And if you know an Amber, don't be her audience.